I loved every single second of this episode. I just felt like I was entertained, I was moved, but dare I say I was even inspired by because I've met you, fell in love with you, America's fallen in love with you, but we got to meet the women and they were pretty incredible. I mean, watching it back, what was your take?
Well, you get to see some of the things that you didn't experience in the moment.
Sure.
Some of the clips and so forth. And the interaction between the women, I obviously had no previous knowledge of. So that was kind of fun to watch.
I thought I had it nailed. And then I met all of you. And it's like, that's all out the window.
What did your daughters and your granddaughters think of your episode?
They loved it,
yeah.
Except for one moment. And I looked at both of them. They were on each side of me. And
What
they
part?
were actually having an ick moment at my first kiss.
I knew it. I was going to ask what they thought of you kissing the
And
ladies.
I was like, come on, you guys, I told you this was going to
You
happen.
did. You told me that you told them.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so one ick, but did you prepare them for the rest of the season, though? Because it looks like there's a lot of kissing.
Well, I'm taking it one step at a time with them. One layer of the onion comes off
Sure.
at a time.
Sure. And you don't want to give it all away yet.
That I do not.
I love it. Overall, how was your experience? Did it feel harder than expected, better than expected?
Probably both of those.
Okay.
It was much more difficult, but it was really much better than I expected.
Yeah.
I felt like every day I had to give myself a little pep talk. Okay, go out and do the very best you can today, and but it's paid off.
Oh, yeah.
It's been so much fun.
I'm already so invested in this journey. You had a room full of 100% authentic women. So how did you navigate all these different personalities?
Well, it wasn't easy. I mean, they were all over the board as far as energy level.
Sure.
All over the board as far as how vocal they were on things. So I had to start learning, the subtleties of each one of the women. And I try to compartmentalize, learn a little about this person, set that aside and go to the next and so forth. But yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Were you intimidated at all? Because, I felt like they were like cannonballs coming out of that limo. They really brought it.
I wasn't intimidated the first night.
Okay. I do want to get into some of the women specifically. Let's talk about Patty, Matt James's mom. You sent her home on night one. I'm just curious, why didn't you feel a connection with her?
I look at it the other way. Why did I have more connection with some of the other women? Such a, so early on in the process, you're really looking at, okay, do I have any chance with this person? They're wonderful, elegant women, but if there's no chance for some reason, whether it's age or geography or general personality trait, you got to go on. And because I have to say, okay, this is Gary's journey, not one of those women's journey.
This is something that I have dreaded doing for many months.
I could tell you weren't expecting that, not at all. I also wasn't expecting this moment. Leslie, this probably was my favorite limo entrance. She dressed as an old lady. She's also dated Prince when she was younger, and you guys also got to dance together. I mean, how amazing and intense was that connection? Because I think that was another jolt of the energy that we saw.
Yeah, so on top of all of those things, Leslie just had a visual energy. There was a look in her eye and a sparkle that was really undeniable. And so, she was going to go farther than halfway to meet someone.
Right.
And she was fun.
Then there's Ellen. You told her that you have her attention. She said it was her best day in her life ever. And of course, she also opened up about her best friend, Roberta, who had cancer. What was it about her connection with Ellen? What was that moment like for you?
Well, Ellen wears her heart on her sleeve.
Sure.
And she has this high, bubbly energy personality. Very easy to be drawn to her. She was really a wonderful woman. I enjoyed her immensely.
There was Sandra, who did a very interesting Zen practice with you. I wish we could know what was bleeped out. Right.
I
was?
Sorry.
That was a fair reaction.
Okay then. You know what? I didn't say.
Okay, it was the F word. It was the F-bomb.
Yeah, it was the F-bomb. And man, did I feel awkward for a moment.
Did
It's
you
like,
really?
Yeah, what do I do here? Do I join in? Do I, retreat?
Do you not have a potty mouth, Gary?
I'll drop them once
Exactly.
in a while, but maybe not in a chant.
I loved everyone having a party together at the mansion. I'm like, also, it's so late.
Yes.
That was a late night, right?
It was late.
Your first real kiss goes to Teresa, right?
It's been forever since I've kissed a guy, and it felt incredible.
She showed up in her quote-unquote birthday suit, but you did give her a cupcake, and you also said that you got the present. So what made you go in for the kiss with Teresa?
I think Teresa is just very endearing. She has a soft heart, very warm charm. She's so cordial and courteous at every turn, and not just to me, but literally everyone in that house she treated with utmost respect. And as I got to know her, I looked back and I thought, yeah, it was definitely right to give her the first kiss.
And that's who you bonded with over her loss as well, right? She lost her husband, I think, about 9 years prior.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know how many women you kissed on the first night?
I think 2.
Okay. There was a couple pecks on the lips too, right?
Yeah, those are kind of like.
We're not counting those?
No, they don't count. Those were shows of affection to women who were, really sweet.
Sure.
A more romantic kiss was Teresa and Faith.
I love it. Oh, speaking of Faith, Faith got your first impression rose. I can understand why. I mean, she showed up on a motorcycle and then busts out a guitar and serenades you. Have you ever had a woman serenade you like that?
No, I have
Wow.
never had that. But that first impression rose went to the look that she gave me. It was just like warm and soft and really did make me feel special in that moment.
Not even because you have a beautiful voice and you sang a song to me, but because of what you're doing right now. You're making me feel very special. Faith, would you accept this rose?
Yeah. I mean, how emotional does the rest of the season get then for you?
Oh, it gets bad.
It does?
It does. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There were moments when I really felt like an elephant was sitting on my chest at the times of the rose ceremonies.
Let me ask you this. Do you think you cry more or kiss more this season?
That's a pretty damn close toss-up.
Right.
Oh, God, such a good question. Oh,
Not that you're counting, but what did it feel like?
yeah, I think I kissed more.
Okay, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. But yeah, you did get super emotional. You say the only time you felt worse was when your wife passed away. What can you tease about what's happening there in that moment?
Yeah, I can give you a little information, but it's towards the end of the journey.
Okay.
I'm down to 2 people. And realize that one of those 2 has to go home. And when you're down to the last 2 people over that amount of time and that much investment,
Right.
you really have strong feelings for them, even though you know they're not the right person. They are so close to it.
You've connected with them so
You've
deeply.
connected so deeply.
Yeah.
And then you realize they have to leave.
Oof.
And it's, oh my God, it was an incredibly bad situation.
I mean, we also see you walking off and saying, "I'm done." You know, what brings you to say that?
A happy ending.
Oh, he's walking off into the sunset, hand
That's
in
what
hand
it
with
looked
somebody.
like to me.
It is a unique situation, right? You are dating all these women at once, and then at the end, you do fall in love with 2 people.
Going into the show, I thought, it's not possible. You have to follow your heart. You have
Yeah.
to be genuine. But you get in a moment when it's almost as if you fall in love with the concept of being in love. And it's like, yeah, I want to be there. And in the excitement and the glamour of a moment and all the energy, all of a sudden you feel it. And then the next day when you sort it out, you go, oh geez, that wasn't the authentic feeling that I was looking for.
And I love to hear that you're so clued in on it, right? You're like trying to find that
Oh, I
spark.
really did. I really wanted to.
Because I loved when you said in this episode, when the smile gets up to the eyes, you'll know it when you see it, right?
Right.
So tell us, Gerry, did you see it? Are you engaged?
I won't tell you whether or not I'm engaged, but I'll tell you I saw
You
it.
saw it.
And I'll even tell you that I saw it more than once.
I believe it.
And that's where it gets difficult.
Right, that's where it gets a little sticky. Well, let me ask you this then. Are you happy?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Yes.